Hi, I'm Chloe Elise, and this is the Fashion to Impact podcast, the show where we empower curvy mid-sized women to quit playing it safe and begin presenting their best self in any situation. Through discussing the latest fashion trends and discovering ways to overcome the status quo, on this journey, we'll learn what it truly means to impact the world through fashion. Hey everyone, welcome to the Fashion to Impact podcast. I am your host, Chloe Elise, and let's get into these hard conversations. So, as we wrap up the month of October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Many of you may have been seeing the post, but I wanted to end this month with my story. It's personally not my story, it's my mother's story, but I kind of want to give perspective as to just when things come out of nowhere. Y'all, I don't even know what to say. I'm just going to start from the beginning, and I pray that this testimony helps you all, because till this day, I'm going through some of the things that I've dealt with, but I've come thus far, so let's just get into it. I kind of sensed something was going on with my mom in the early times, but she is the strongest pillar in my life. Literally, she is the aunt of the family. If y'all know, every family has that one aunt. Everybody calls her Aunt Donna, regardless of your age, regardless of your relation to her, regardless if you're a child at church, school, the playground, everybody calls her Aunt Donna. That's just my mom. She's always been that way since I can remember. So one day, mind you, I had just started my new job. I started my job in June, I believe, and my commute was probably around an hour and a half away. Yes, you heard that right, an hour and a half away. I needed that time because I was trying to look for a place. So I was commuting from my apartment and commuting to work. So mind you, I wasn't spending as much time with my family. I wasn't seeing my mom like that as often. And my mom called me and she was like, "Oh, are you going to come over for dinner?" And I'm like, "No, probably not today, because I have to do stuff. And, I got to get up so early to get to work tomorrow." So she basically told me that she had been diagnosed with breast cancer. And y'all, I can't remember if I was walking or I was sitting on the bus, but literally the world stopped around me. Like, I never thought I would hear those words come out of her mouth, and I couldn't even say anything because I didn't want her to hear the probably like just the shock of her being diagnosed. So I was like, "Oh, okay, so are you okay? Like, what are they saying?" She said she was going to do surgery, and yet her being the strong one, she's just like, "Yeah, everything's going to be okay." So I was like, okay. And I was just going through the conversation. Then I was trying to get off the phone. As soon as I got off the phone, I called my grandma, and I just burst into tears. I just burst into tears because why did this happen to my mom? Why is this happening now? I'm finally about to spread my wings. I was about to relocate. I'm about to spread my wings, and why is this happening to my mom? Like, why is the devil attacking my mom? So I got through that conversation with my grandma, and I just remember not being happy with God at all, y'all. I was not happy with him. And I got real silent. Like, I wasn't talking to nobody. I wasn't on social media. Like, I literally needed a mental break because this is my mom. Like, this is not a billboard. This is not a video. This is not a commercial. This is my mom. And I'm on this new job. I don't know these people. I'm trying to make a good impression because, the first year it's a probationary period. I'm commuting so far, and I just I'm just trying to understand why this happened to my mom. So, long story short, I'm still going to work every day. I'm trying to keep a straight face. I'm trying to act like everything's okay. But y'all, I was truly broken and truly silent to myself. And my mom's surgery was coming up, and she was like, "No, you don't have to come. You don't have to come." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like, she's acting like she's so strong. She's like, "No, you don't have to come." And I'm like, "Okay." Like, can I even take leave? Like, I just started this job a month ago. Can I even take leave? So I had to set my pride aside, and I went in. I think it was maybe like a week before. I didn't even tell my mom when I was coming because I was so nervous about what my job would say. So I went to my supervisor. I told him what was going on, and I wanted to take off. So up to the day of the surgery, I'm still going back and forth because I'm talking to my mom. I'm trying to see, do you still want me to come? Like, what do you need? She's like, "No, you don't have to come. I know you have this job. Just go. I'll be okay. Everybody else is going to come." So I was going to go to work. I just said it because y'all know I need to keep this government job. I need to do all of this. I'm literally going back and forth with myself until that night before when she went in. I was like, "This is my mom. No job will ever come between me and my mom. Like, regardless, everything that I have done, my mom has been my cheerleader." So I could not go. So I told my aunt I'm coming with her. I was like, "Don't tell my mom." So I rode with them to the hospital so I could see her. And when she got out of surgery, I went in the room first, and all she could say, she was like, "My daughter." Yeah, I'm being real vulnerable. Like, I'm a crybaby, but I never told anybody this story. And she was like, "My daughter, my daughter." And she was crying. Like, she was still loopy because of the anesthesia, but she knew who I was. And, like, to think that I was not going to be there to see her when she woke up because of a job, it really kind of changed my whole perspective on just how I was living my life and where my priorities were. So after that, she's been going good. She had her, I'm not going to get into the details, but everything went well with her surgery. She's in recovery, and she just was coming back to health. Meanwhile, I'm still commuting back and forth to work. And my stepdad, sorry, y'all, I'm trying to collect myself so I can talk. So my stepdad, he came in and, like, he nursed my mom like I've never seen him nurse anybody like that. And it kind of gave me some sort of release because I couldn't control the situation. I'm so used of being in positions where I control the situation or I can figure out a fix. But this situation, I had to leave it up to God, and it was crazy, y'all. Like, I literally couldn't do anything but just be there for my mom in that moment. And it just taught me so much about forgiveness, about my priorities, about the value of family, and also just the value of my time and how quickly things can change and how quickly God can shift something. But even with that, my family as a whole, I think it kind of shocked us all. So it was kind of bringing us together as well, because, you know, family, we get into tits and fights and stuff, but like that really kind of shifted us just as a whole, because my mom shaved her head. Like, if you know my mom, she wears these wigs, honey. She wears the 1B color, 1B in purple. So when she shaved her head, it was like, okay, you trying to be cute. That's why I was like, is something going on? Like, I didn't never thought she was sick. I just thought like she going through a little like a midlife crisis or something. But honey, Shawty shaved her head. She kept asking me about like suntan lotion for her head and makeup, and I was telling her what to use, and she was on YouTube looking up videos and stuff. Like, me and my mom are a lot alike. Like, we make bold moves regardless of what's going on. So like, I was just like, what is this lady doing? So yeah, that's kind of the story. So my mom is doing so well now. She's back to her old self. Literally, she has us walking. Yes, I stay with my mom now. We'll get into that later on in the podcast. You got to keep tuned. But literally, we go on nature walks now. We go on these long walks around the park and all of that. But yeah, breast cancer is really nothing to play with. And I feel like as women with curves, people love to have boobs, but they come with so much maintenance. And as Black women, as women of color, we ought not to go to the doctor. We rather take somebody else, take our kids, take our moms, take our nieces, take our husbands, but we're not taking ourselves to the doctor. So as we wrapped up Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I just wanted to share my experience with breast cancer, and just the call. And I'm saying this to myself as I'm speaking into you. We have to start taking care of ourselves. If that means checking ourselves more regularly, if that means going to the doctor at least one time a year and letting them check us out, we have to do that. And we have to stop making us our health and putting it last place. I'll probably leave some links in the show notes to different websites and resources that you all can read more about breast cancer. But I kind of wanted to speak on the side that many people don't see. People love to repost Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but when you've been so close to someone who has actually had breast cancer, it's more than just a disease. It's really a lifestyle change. So yeah, it just taught me, this experience has really taught me to value my mother so much more than I already have. I'm very protective of her. I don't think people know, but I really am. And I chose to start going through therapy because I really haven't spoken ever since this happened. This happened a year ago, and I'm still kind of getting my voice back. But through therapy and prayer and just going through the trenches, having those late night cries and trying to open up to people, my therapist, she kind of pointed out, like, you're still afraid that something's going to happen to your mom. Like, I'm scared to release her, but I have, because my mom is a strong person, and I know God has His hands on her, regardless of what He's doing. So I'm inching towards releasing her, y'all. Baby steps. I'm inching towards, because that thing right there, she go to war for me, and I go to war for her. So yeah, I just wanted to make this real cute, real short, because y'all, I've been crying and I didn't want to do this, but I feel like God has told me to share my story. And yeah, just tonight when y'all go to bed, just say a prayer for my mom and any other breast cancer survivor out here, anybody who has been diagnosed or who is recovering. Just say an extra prayer for them tonight, because they need it, and they are real live testimonies, real live miracle. I can really say I've seen a miracle because of my mom. So I dedicate this episode to her, and I thank you all for listening to the Fashion to Impact podcast. Make sure you come back next Saturday. It's going to be like a Saturday morning type show. Make sure y'all come back next Saturday, so we're going to discuss some more topics. If you have a topic idea that you would like me to touch on, make sure you follow us on our Instagram, which is Fashion to Impact Podcast, and send us a DM or a comment, and I will sure to get back to you all. But I thank you so much for listening. Until next time, see you soon, guys.